பண்டிகைகளின் துவக்கம் நமது பாரம்பரிய கங்கா ஸ்வீட்டுடன் தொடங்கட்டும். நாவில் நடனமாடும் சுவைக்கு கங்கா ஸ்வீட்ஸ். மத்தகம் பார்ட் 2 அதர்வா, மணிகண்டன் மற்றும் டிடி நடிப்பில் ஒரு விறுவிறுப்பான கிரைம் வெப் சீரிஸ் இப்போது உங்கள் Disney+ Hotstarரில்.
In this episode of IndiaGlitz presents Cut to the Cinema with Rukshanth, I have the one and only BBC Vidu Vinod Chopra. Sir, hello sir, welcome to my show.
Thank you.
Sir, my show's name is Cut to the Cinema. Cut to is a Tamil word. In English, they would call learning cinema. So it's a great honor and pleasure to have you in my show, sir. And first of all, I've seen the film of yours, which is 12 Fail. I've just shared some of my thoughts. How did I feel after watching that film? We'll go for that film. And before that, I would want to know a bit of you before I go on to speak about this film. You said in one of your interviews that you're a small boy coming from Kashmir with a lot of dreams to Bombay, and he just made all those path-breaking movies. You are a successful producer, you are a successful director, so you made everything which is impossible to make. You made it possible. How did you land up with that courage, with that conviction, all those traits, you know, that all those very good traits in you, it's actually transcending in your films. It is fascinating to see, sir. So can you just share me?
See, it all comes from your childhood. See, like you said, your name Rukshanth was given by your mother.
Absolutely.
And you mentioned it means I believe. And that means that value of your mother, she has put that value in you, in your name.
Right.
In the same way, my father and my mother, my father particularly, when I was going to Bombay, we were very poor. And he said, "You'll never become a filmmaker, but go try." And he said to me, "But even if you become a cobbler, make sure you're the best cobbler of your street." So that's how you know, in the movie, the brother that tells him that go become an IPS, don't worry about money.
Right.
Was my brother, who is no more. I've dedicated the film to him. But he said, I went to the film school only because he could afford to send me and he got a job. So I believe you see, in the movie, it's not only this man's struggle. It is also the struggle of the whole family. See, we are not an island, Rukshanth. If our friends we can never forget how our friends have helped us. We will never forget how in the movie, clearly. So if you tell me how am I so to use the word loosely courageous, it is because of my father, because of the fact that I come from poverty, not poverty, but not very rich. And it gave me strength. See, it's like when I made 12 Fail. Now, this film is not on any OTT platform. No Amazon will ever show my film. If this film didn't work, I'd lose a lot of money. What gave me that strength? Simple. If I was to lose every money I put in this film, it would be a big loss, but it'll be a loss from my profit. Because when I went to the city, I had nothing. So I have to look at life like that. If we start looking at life like that, then you will look at life differently. Then this loss will mean nothing because it's from the profit you made over years. You know what I'm saying?
Very true, sir.
So it's just you know, this mind is is a tricky mind. All minds have to be controlled. So you have to really fool your mind into believing that life is not so bad. It's not. It's beautiful. You just have to make sure that when you're down and out, and that's why I put it on my chest, you restart.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You play video games?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Every time you play a video game, Rukshanth, what happens? You die and you don't even, you just go tick, 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 put another life and go tick, tick, tick. Life is a game. You have a show, it's a game. Did you ever think as a kid, I'll have my show? No. RR, as you say. There you're sitting. So it's a game, you're playing that. Like the game, press the button, restart and move. And I feel very sad about the suicides that I read about through the film in Kota and various places where right here, ZEET, all these examination need, whatever. They're killing people. My message in the film is please see the film and don't do that.
It is so welcoming, sir, like the messages that you conveyed in your film.
Yeah.
And also, one thing that I really liked about this film is this film is actually for the audience, for the audience. It doesn't comes under the mainstream commercial like a formula kind of film, but it is very unconventional in that case. But it is very relatable. It is very connect worthy, and we can completely consume the message that you're trying to say in the film. So this is something really different. If you see the box office numbers, I'm very sure that you don't bother about all those box office numbers and all, but I'm just saying, it shows that people are welcoming, people are accepting this kind of film.
It's huge. Just before I came here, today is Tuesday, I just got a message that my second week Monday is bigger than my first week Monday. My second weekend was almost twice the first weekend. This has never happened. And there are people, there's a school, they sent me, I have a picture. The schools have put, this is a school in Kandivali, the teacher has put on the board for Diwali, she says, happy holidays, hashtag we'll restart on 16th November, so I guess the holidays till 16th. Then he says, things to do at home. Number 1, homework. Number 2, see 12th fail with family and friends.
Oh.
It's on the class, I mean, she's written it on the board.
It's on the chart.
It's amazing. You know, so what is happening is that it's not, people are seeing the film, but the point is, it's touching their lives. It can change their life, which is what I say. I don't know how long I'll live, but this film will live much longer than me. Now, if I had done some rubbish and made 1,000 crores or 2,000 crores, I would die, the money would go to corrupt my son, because it's corrupt money. It will corrupt him. Now I will go and I'll leave behind a film. 50 years from now, some kid in Coimbatore will see my film and get inspired and say, you know what, I can restart. This is the meaning of life. This is what we are meant to do as human beings.
So I know that you've spent 4 to 5 years for this particular project to deliver it to the audience. So while making that movie, like while the process, while making that film, did you feel that, okay, right, this is going to stay forever and I'm just making a masterpiece for the audience to witness?
No, you see, I do my best. Now, I couldn't do better than this. I've done things that are crazy. It's like I've driven the actor. 1 year I rehearsed with him. 3 months he had to stop shooting. He had to go and burn his skin in chambal so that I don't use any makeup. I don't know what will happen to that movie. All I know that I'm making it with all my honesty. And that comes through. And then if people like it, like they're loving this one, it makes me happy, of course. But that's not the driving force.
Right.
My driving force is that I have a thought in my head which I want to convey to people. That, have I been able to deliver that message or not? Whether it is all is well, whether it is a restart, whether it is all the things I'm saying in the film. There's a very important line in the film. She says, how will you study in such darkness? He says, I'm not afraid of darkness outside. It's the darkness within that scares me.
Absolutely. Even when you talk about the film, there are so many heroic moments that I would like to address a few things. The one time when the hero would go back to his police character who had inspired him earlier in his life. He'll just go and give his invitation, marriage invitation. There you can see a solid heroic moment over there. And also after he wins his examination of the results that comes out, there is a potential moment to elevate that particular scene in a different way. You know what I'm trying to say. So, but you didn't opt any of those fancy things, which may be a right word, I don't know. But you stick to your basics. You just stood by your approach of storytelling. The impact of the movie is heavy, but you could have made that possible in a possible way, but you didn't do that. How did you think that?
See, because it's a real film. See, what's very important, if let's say when he passed and I used music, dun, 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 and he goes, dun, 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 it's false. The real happiness is within you. See, unfortunately now in most movies we use this heavy music, dum, dang, and the music is telling us how to think.
Right.
We are not really watching, we are listening now. So the idea was to actually use very little music and make the film look so real. What happens in real life when you're happy? Now, you were happy seeing this film. You recall. All you did was you had a smile, RR, and you said, that was a very nice moment. You don't get up and say, oh, that was a very nice. That's all over the top. It's not real. So if you're making a movie that is real, well, if you're making an over-top film, let's say you're doing a murder mystery or a killer, sure, do that. But in a real movie, you have to be real.
So all your movies that you made had all those intentions of noble thoughts.
Yeah.
Even the movies that you produced, especially your collaboration with Mr. Raju Irani sir, it had all those global, like noble kind of thoughts and ideas. Coming back to that point, as a filmmaker should not propagate, or a filmmaker should not like sell his ideas to the audience.
Right.
But that particular film should create an impact within the audience themselves. How do you see this, sir? Like all your movies have these solid messages, but it doesn't feel like that you are just insisting them the message that you're trying to say, but we just get all those messages when we leave the theatre halls. How do you define that?
I think it's all about honesty, RR. It's about how honest you are as a filmmaker. It's like, I didn't sell this film to any Amazon or anybody. Why? I want people to go to the theatre together to experience, to learn. So my intention to make this film was honest. Therefore, my lines will be honest. Therefore, I will not do anything over the top. What is your intention is very important. Is your intention to really try and get to know me, to try and figure out how do I do what I do? Or is your intention to be, oh, I will get so many hits if I ask him this? It's like when we make a movie.
Very true.
Whether we want people to really get the message and you know, feel, hey, this is what Vinod is trying to say. Or are we trying to say, this is where we'll get claps, this is where we'll get, you know. It's your intention that shows. Because so many people I can influence through this, through the art of cinema. So that's a huge responsibility.
Fantastic, sir. So previously in one of your interviews, you mentioned that I cannot work with stars. I can make my actors to work with me. It's the statement that you said in your interview. So I was fascinated that you made Parinda with Anil sir, Jackie sir back then. But how do you see this statement down so many years down the line now?
See, the stars then were different. Anil and Jackie were primarily actors. They're good people, very good. I'd love to work with them again. The younger people now, stars, I think they're very confused.
Confused in the sense?
Confused in the sense they don't know who they are. They're judging themselves by the number of hits they get on internet.
All right, okay.
They're not judging themselves by the work they do.
Right.
But how many people saw my film? Now when you see movies, how do people talk about movies now? They don't say, hey, that's a great movie. They say, what's the collection? What's the number? Arey, yaar, how's the movie? A movie is not good, but look at the number, 100 crores. Arey, it's a rubbish movie, then say it's a rubbish movie. What has 100 crores got to do with that? So I think these young people are very confused. They are not looking at, they've started looking at how many people like me when I walk like that, how many hits do I get, how many likes do I get. They're not looking at how good or how bad they are. They're not judging their own art by, am I a good actor? Did I do that scene nicely? Could I have done better? No. Hey, I got so many hits on that. Good. So that's it. So I think their minds, personally, I could be completely wrong, but my thing is they are becoming very shallow. And it's very difficult for me not to, see, let me tell you, when I say I can't work, let me also tell you they can't work with me.
That is the point that you're trying to make now, okay.
That is also, how will they work with me? Which star will say, I will rehearse for 1 year, I will for 3 months do this, I'll go to Chambal and burn my skin. I mean, it's impossible. He will have 10 other ads to do, 20 other little tobaccos to sell, as I've said in the film. They won't do it. I mean, they will never work with me. Okay. Frankly, it won't. So it's both ways.
That after watching the movie, I have so many takeaways from the film, but I personally felt that every Manoj deserves someone like Shraddha.
Yes.
So there is one dialogue in the film which Manoj's friend would say that people are not for the losers.
Yeah.
Only people would stay back for the for someone who would win.
Yes.
That is one hard-hitting dialogue, and it's obviously we will in our day-to-day life we will see that reality also. So you tell me, sir, how did you bring that Shraddha to Manoj's life and your inspiration to bring that Shraddha's character alive?
See, there are two things. That there is a real Shraddha. Manoj's wife Shraddha is very nice. But also in my life, you know, my wife Anupama, I'm married to her 27 years, is like Shraddha. She's very concerned. She really worries about the world. So there's also, so I sought inspiration from her.
All right.
Because she has guided and helped me. I think she has made me a better person. 27 years back when I married her, I was very brash and very violent and very angry man, and I'm not angry anymore. I mean, when I say, oh, people, please don't, you're rich. Now when I'm saying you're so rich, why do you want to become richer by selling disease and death to the poor? I'm saying it with love and affection. I'm saying, please don't do it. It's not a good thing to do. But I'm not saying it with anger. And if they don't listen to me, which they won't, I am not going to say, they're not listening to me. It's okay. This I learned from Anupama. So really, in my life, there is a Shraddha too.
One more thing that really that gave me alarm is that Manoj would meet Shraddha in so much of instances, but that get off that intimacy kind of mood in the film. But there is no smooching or any kind of scene. What your intention to while you are writing the film? Did you think of all those elements, sir? Like audience would expect that something like this and...
See, first of all, it's a film that begins in 1997.
Right.
In those days, we didn't kiss and hug like that as easily as it is done today.
Okay, right.
So it had to be realistic. If that film was done in today's time, I don't know what would happen because reality of today's people
totally
is different. So I was true to that. And secondly, let me tell you, the moment you start thinking of audience and how will they react, you're corrupting your art. Because you're saying, if I do this, they'll come. No. When Van Gogh was painting, did he think, if I put this yellow here, the people will love this painting? No, he painted because that's what he felt.
Right.
When Mozart created his music, he didn't say, this beat here, there. He loved it. It came from him. So, I am nothing compared to these great names that I'm mentioning, but I seek inspiration from them. I do nothing for the audience. I make a film that I believe in, and I hope that they like it, and I hope it helps them and it changes their lives. Like making this film has changed my life. Look at this restart thing I'm wearing. Because I believe, you know, so it's not, I'm not thinking of my audience. Never. In none of my films. You don't. Because then you're completely, your art is corrupted. Totally.
Totally corrupted.
Yeah.
Right. Your approach of using the music in a very minimalistic way, that actually fascinated me in another way also. So I heard that you brought the rights of Pathir Panchali musical rights, but you didn't use that. Instead you recreated something else in the film. But the usage of the music was very minimalistic, but it was so effective when you watch the film. How did you bring that usage of music, sir? See,
the music again, what happens in the movies that you see today now, music is manipulative. The music is telling you how to think. Da 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 dum da da da. The idea of music is not to manipulate your feelings, particularly in a film that is real, like 12th Fail.
Okay.
So the idea is for almost when the scene gets over, the music plays. It's like almost like an afterthought. I am not manipulating your feelings with music.
Right. Okay.
I don't want to manipulate your feelings. It's a real movie. If you're weeping, please weep. If you're laughing, please laugh. But I am in my music, I'm not going to tell you, hey, now you laugh. Now it's weep, now there's a silent, you know, there's a sarangi or a... So I don't want to manipulate your feelings, RR. Why should I do that? You have loved this film and so many people have loved this film because they've sat there and they have subconsciously realized that I am not manipulating their feelings at all. People in the theatres, I am told, are standing throughout the end titles and clapping for 5 minutes. Why? because somewhere the film has touched their lives and I have not manipulated them. It wouldn't happen if I had used music differently, I think.
So yeah, as a filmmaker, you could have sensed all these years that what kind of movement that is happening within the industry and within the people and the people's mindset of viewing a particular film. You making films in a parallel movement back then to you making 12 Fail now. What did you learn all these years, and what's the one thing that you are taking from the audience, like how they are giving the love and support for this particular film? How do you see these differences? There is, of course, there's a lot of people who are going to watch the mainstream commercial movies and they are coming to 12 Fail with same amount of love and affection they are giving to this film as well. So what do you see the change?
See, I think an honest film at any given moment will talk to people. I think, see, the times have changed because the speed of life has changed.
Right.
But I strongly believe, like I've said in the film, that if you make a film like 12 Fail, it's bound to be a big hit. It's simple. You just have to make a film like 12 Fail, which we were very fortunate enough. Me and my crew, we worked very hard. We were lucky that we could put it all together. Let's put it that way.
So in the climax of the film, I really love this particular scene where Manoj would go and sit for his final examination. There are this discussion that would happen that whether we can select him or not. But there's one person who just say that we should give him a chance for his honesty. Right. Can you say one particular moment in your life which happened in a similar way that you showed me?
Let me tell you, you've taken me back in life. When I came from the film school, I had made a film called Murder at Monkey Hill, right, which won the national award. And I was very poor, and of course, there's a story of how that I lived on that 4,000 rupees that I got as national award for almost 2-3 months. And then there was one Mr. Shastri, who was the head of Doordarshan, who called me, had seen the film. And he said, I cannot give you too much money, but I'll give you 500 rupees for dialogues, 500 rupees for costumes, 500 rupees for screenplay. He could not sanction more than 500. And 2,500 to direct.
Right.
So that became 5,500 rupees. And he said, I will give you this money. You go and do anything you want. And I looked at him. I said, sir, anything? He says, yes, I've seen your film. That for me was a life-changing moment because I was talking to Amitabh Bachchan at that time.
Oh.
And I went to Amitabh Bachchan and I told him, sir, we'll have to delay our film. I have got something better. So he said, who? Rajesh Khanna? Because he thought I'll go to this. My diploma film had won a national award and all that. I said, no, Rajesh Khanna, DD. So he said, what is DD? I said, Doordarshan. He said, are you crazy? But I went and made that film because that man showed me the way that if you do good work, if you're there, then you have people who will support you. And so see, it's like I've made this film, you've seen this film, you come out of your way to talk to me, and you are on this show supporting the film, not because of me, it's because of the film.
Absolutely.
So I think if you do good work, people will go out and support it. I believe that.
So to conclude, sir, I would want to know two things before the end of this interview. Your long-term buddy, best friend, Raju Irani, sir. What did he say after watching this film? And of course, what did Kamal Haasan, sir, after watching this film?
Well, Raju Irani said it's my best film, but he said that at Chikara also. I said, yeah, every time I make a film, you're saying it's your best. No, he said it's your best. And Kamal Haasan was very moving. See, Raju is like family, so I don't take him seriously. But Kamal, I was very touched because Kamal actually went and said that this film gives me hope. And for him to say that, he said, it gives me hope that if you make a story like this, it will work. I was very moved by Kamal. That's why I came here for his birthday.
Sir.
I was very touched because Kamal didn't have to do it. And he also, we had a festival, 45 years of my cinema. He came to Bombay for that. And I was very touched. Frankly, Kamal Haasan, I have to thank him for his generosity because for him to see the film and to then praise it, he was emotional at the end of it, the way he said that. He said many nice things, so he's a good man.
You dubbed this film in Tamil, Telugu and in Malayalam probably.
Kannada also.
Kannada also. So your core intention, your core idea for the audience to just watch this film?
That's it. Exactly. Why did I dub in Tamil? Because I did one interview,
Right.
and that gentleman saw the Tamil version.
I saw the Tamil version, sir.
There you go. There you go. My idea was to show it to people. See, the idea is not to make extra money from Tamil Telugu. I have enough. I'm 71. I can live like this till 101. So money doesn't drive me.
Right.
But I wanted to reach people. Why I'm coming here talking to you guys? Because I want people in Tamil Nadu to see your interview and see this film. It can help them. And that'll make me very, very happy that I touched, people of my country all over, from Kashmir to Chennai, so to say, So that's why I dubbed it. Actually, when I was dubbing it, they said, oh, iski to dubbing cost bhi nahi niklegi.
Right.
To translate, they said, you won't even recover your dubbing cost. I don't care. I want it dubbed. I want people to see it.
As a film viewer, I would like to say this thing. You should continue to make films which touches your heart, sir.
Thank you.
Because we'll get inspired. We are getting so much of that connection, and you could see within my eyes
I can. That's right.
how enthusiastically I'm speaking to you. And thank you so much for always inspiring.
Thank you.
Please do the same.
Thank you. I will. I promise. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
பண்டிகைகளின் துவக்கம் நமது பாரம்பரிய கங்கா ஸ்வீட்டுடன் தொடங்கட்டும். நாவில் நடனமாடும் சுவைக்கு கங்கா ஸ்வீட்ஸ். மத்தகம் பார்ட் 2 அதர்வா, மணிகண்டன் மற்றும் டிடி நடிப்பில் ஒரு விறுவிறுப்பான கிரைம் வெப் சீரிஸ் இப்போது உங்கள் டிஸ்னி பிளஸ் ஹாட் ஸ்டாரில்.